drill tape on there. This is what we do every day. So, you know, where I played, we had the boards and everything like that. For me, I got cones out there, especially because I wanted guys to be able to, I wanted to see their base without anything restricting them below them. You know, I wanted to be able to talk about foot fire and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll see some pretty good examples and some pretty bad ones, right? So first step should be outside the far foot, right? You can see the difference between a guy who's starting for us and a guy who ended up quitting for us, right? As far as getting that weight on that first foot, on his toes, versus getting your first step down. Obviously, he is fucking stiff. He's super fucking stiff. Was first team all conference, so fucking stiff, okay? But, you know, difference between getting feet down, okay? Again, talking about keeping those elbows to the rib cage, tight punches, all that kind of good stuff, okay? Getting the second step down, getting back to a base, and then running our feet, okay? Running our feet, like Coach mentioned, not chopping them, and, you know, we're trying to push people, okay? Cutting grass and running our feet through that block, and you can see it here again, not to pick on my man Shelton, because he quit, but seeing how that second step swung versus getting back to more of a base, right? I'm not a maniac, I know it's not gonna be a power clean stance that you're getting back to necessarily, okay, but want to have a base underneath us because you know that those defense linemen are gonna move around, they're gonna try and get off the block, all that kind of good stuff. If your feet are too tight, you're going to get ragdolled, bad for us, okay? So again, swinging your second step, no good. You can see everyone except for him, we had just lost our left guard this spring to a knee injury, so he's in there. But everyone else was a starter for us this year, getting that second step down. And again, as this, you know, we do this every day. For me, it's, you know, we obviously can't do board drill or anything like that. I like to set the tone for the day, see where the guys are at physically, where they're at mentally. So we're gonna put body on body. It's not always gonna be on pads. It's not always gonna be on other offensive linemen. During the fall, we're gonna have other defense linemen down there, stuff like that. We're gonna have bags. You know, for us, we had to move to tight bags, which I think you'll see at some point on this film, as far as they don't go outside your nipples, because we had a zillion holding calls. We had 30 holding calls year one. Cut that down to 14 year two, which still is a lot, but was great improvement there. You can see them right here, actually. So super tight pads there. But for us, you know, want to make sure that we're coaching up the finish, making sure we're coaching up physicality, and, you know, we usually go 3 each way for this drill, but like I said, I like to just set the tone for the day, and if it's not good enough, we'll just keep doing it. I got 25 minutes in, you start the day, we'll fucking do this for 25 minutes. I do not care. So, and like I said, this is, if we ran about 750 plays, 770 plays of offense this year. About 300 of them were with this kind of block. So for us, it's a lot of, like I said, value with our engine. So you can see here, different levels of finish from the guys. We'll just keep doing it, right? And also you have your guys, right? You have guys like my right tackle in that last clip is 80 years old, and you know, everyone's gonna be in a little different place, right? Just keeping those guys upright and things like that. So I think the guys know that. You gotta coach them all the same and all that kind of good stuff, but also knowing that when we're trying to get all these reps, rather than having one guy go at the time or explain everything all at once, everything like that, you know, you just gotta coach the finish and keep guys honest, right? Finishing to the best of their ability. Like I said, here you can see, again, my man Shelton going at left tackle now, crossing over, no good, versus Fred, redshirt freshman for us, gonna be a good player for us. Again, not as low as we want him, everything like that, but getting that second step down, having our cleats in the ground. You can see Brady at the center spot there. I like to keep the guys in the lines that they play in. So one, you know, we start with the starters, the backups are behind them, in everything, in Indy, in meetings, everything like that. The starters go first. They can see the guys in front of them that are working, then our starters are going, watching the guys behind them, coaching them up too. Like I said, it's one of me, I'm usually picking one half of the line to watch, you know, and one of the things, especially when you're down to your true freshman quarterback and things like that, that popped up for this year is, you know, coaching leadership. You know, that's kind of the next progression for us when I'm gonna have 6 seniors in the offensive line room next year, which is gonna be awesome. But, you know, it would have been cool to have those tools trained, right? And talking to those young guys. You never know when your best year of college football is gonna be. You know, for me, it was my redshirt sophomore year. After that, we were never better, right? So just telling those guys as far as don't wait until your senior year to find a voice and things like that. Now, make sure your room's clean, right? Make sure you're doing all the work and that kind of stuff. So just hammering those things and giving those guys a level of ownership over what's going on as well, okay? So, like I said, nothing crazy here. Working drive, working tight hands, working to get that play side number, okay? Defensive lineman's not being a dick. Usually, just so you can see there, they're taking one step forward, giving a decent pop, all right? Not just giving themselves away. We don't need to watch those guys. Like I said, white blocks, tight drives. We work white blocks in this drill. Again, just I'll let it roll just to show, again, trying to keep guys involved. You know, I was a sports management major. I wasn't crazy, but Jesus Christ, Fred. So just trying to keep guys repping, right? Trying to keep guys involved, coach them up as we go. Here, point of emphasis, again, work and stay inside out. This, if you're a frontside guard, frontside tackle, tight zone, we just got to keep those guys out, right? We talk about the aiming point for the running backs. We talk about where it's probably going to hit 95% of the time. It's going to be behind you, right? So we're going to stay inside out now. Teams, especially since you run so much zone, are going to move around a lot. So give those defensive linemen rabbits, right? And when we get to the fall, the actual defensive linemen move around, right? Either play upfield or try and cross face. Okay, we're going to see both. Okay, point of emphasis again. You can see here from young Matthew, get your first step up and down, drive the crotch with your second, strong inside hand, work for the finish. Trevor, Wolf, not bad, still working straight through his inside hand. You see Matt trying to be super athletic and cross face, great move, Matt. But again, just try and get some different reps. As far as when we go live, it's not the first time we've done it this day. Okay? As far as our combos go, pretty self-explanatory. We go take, tag, hog, ABC. All right, those are our basic combos. And again, we work these every day. Okay, so for us, I always, again, keeping guys repping, stuff like that, I split it up, whether it's tackle by himself, guard center, tackle tight end, and I'll just move down the line and let him rotate as I'm going in that. I mean, I'm getting as much out of breath as the guys because I'm literally running back and forth to keep guys going, right? So we'll go, here we got front side, so you got your white block tight drive on the front side. You see here Dallas was much more comfortable with the tight drive. His old ass getting moving. Now again, like I said, your frontside guard to tackle are working to stay on inside out, right? You can see the center is working to get to that play side number. And again, reason being is just, as you'll see on the tape, we're able to open up those inside seams more versus we still get great lateral movement and things like that, and obviously a lot of the times it's gonna hit off that back shelf. For us, when you open up an interior gap, that extra hat or whoever's responsible maybe for an outside gap, all of a sudden gets pretty fucking concerned, all right? Because they're on the back end, they can see that kind of stuff. Again, just tempoing it, not killing the guys today. Staying tight in there, working to keep our outside hand free at the guard spot. And then going straight to backside, right? Directing the defense. Okay, so here we got a B combination. Defense alignment across face. Again, on all this stuff, we're keying the near knee. So that tackle's just staring at that knee as it goes by, right? It goes away, we're getting on our track, and especially one of the things you see on this is there's not just nobody back there, there's gonna be a defensive end screaming down your face, or with us, we have tight end off the ball a lot as well, right? We have to do a really good job at that tackle spot, getting that second step down, not getting washed down, and we'll even work drills where we'll have another guy in this just banging his hip with a bag, right? Trying to wash him down. If that knee's going away, try and bang that tackle down, simulate that so that we can just pry back, we're running a C on the run with that tight end, help him get underneath on our way. Should see really good strength through the inside hand from the guard. Again, trying to hold that interior gap open. Another example here, great job by Fred, as far as quick 6-inch step, timing step, drive the crotch with your second, and really again, you're still taking a little bit of lateral movement with that first step because of that defense alignment across space. We don't want him crossing ours, right? Just keep him out of his gap, okay? So Fred, quick 6-inch step, I'd like to see him more over it as far as bringing his chest with him a little bit, bringing his midline with it, don't guess. Good pop, on your way through, and then tempo up to the linebacker, right? We'll work our tempo drills up to the linebackers as well, timing up 2 to 3 seconds. So those guys aren't in a huge rush, because you'll see guys be in a huge fucking rush, get up to those linebackers, and now they've made contact with a very slippery linebacker, and the running back doesn't even have the ball yet. All right, so just different things that we teach as we're going through this as well. Two eye, crossing face. Again, center. Similar to the tackles, don't want you drifting. And we'll see an example of this when we get to the film as far as not crossing over, all right? I think it's really, really hard for those guys, but again, a lot of that comes from sinking on that first step, right? Being loaded up to then be able to drive off, right? Don't predetermine your first 2 steps. That first step, you have to be able to read the near knee and then get your second step going where it's supposed to go with that key. So again, we rep this ad nauseum. Do not get bored with the everyday drills. Over and over and over and over. And then here, difference between this one and the other one, right, is we talk about uncovered guys getting their hands involved, right? You get your hand involved like Brady does here. That shoulder turns, the linebacker shoots it, we're fucking dead. And more importantly, running back's fucking dead. Okay, so you'll see him finish his rep. Turned around. Hey, keep your outside hand free. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Also, tackle's not getting to his spot. So, killer rep from these two. And now our more advanced ones, right? Like I said, we get a lot of tells from linebackers and things like that as far as changing up their leverage, which helps us, okay? For us, right, the two ones that we see the most are our gangs, right? If that ID'd linebacker starts plussing out a little bit and you're either expecting stunt, twist, whatever it is, okay? Being able to work a three-man combo. And really the only difference there is, right, if that three-tech normally across the face, we just have a cog called, that guard is gonna bang back on that on his way through. Center says, hey, we got backer leverage is funky. If that gang is called and that guy across the face, the guard isn't gonna help him because he's expecting something else to come to him. Again, something we went to, especially as we see more of these line stunts and things like that. And teams try and hide it too. A lot of it's gonna come from game planning and understanding different looks, different leverage from the linebackers. Okay, this stuff that we hammer in the film room all week. And frankly, the center has to be really smart and do a really good job at IDing that kind of stuff. And then the city call, more understandable, easier to see. Again, uncovered guys calling it, so that guard's calling it as far as, that's your -1, he's way minus back there. All right, we're working a city call, again, freeing up that tackle where if your guy crosses the guard's face, we're not trying to chase that thing because obviously you're not working to no one, all right? And see that one more, frankly, against our defense and team and everything like that, because they like to move like motherfuckers. But for us, we'll see, we got a clip of it right here against Davidson. So here's us working it, right? As far as just working different things, you see me try and direct twists with fat offensive linemen. Hell yeah, dude. But again, point of emphasis when we call these things too is once we get that movement, that tackle's got to bang down on that and stop any penetration. All right, that's one thing that I think we did a really good job of this year. Penetration kills zone. All right, for us, for the most part, all year, we were able to stay 5 in a line, no penetration, getting guys moving. All right, so you see the tackle, bang back here, guard stays right on his track, and again, center's eyes are on that near knee, it's going away, and he's tracking that linebacker going away, runs right into the defensive end. For us, as we're watching film, you know, I always like to run the wide clip first. 1, to check penetration, right? 2, to check the line of scrimmage, did we get pushed? Okay, point of emphasis on 10 and 11, our inside zone is denting the defense, all right? Again, this is hitting A gap back. We are reading that first linebacker in the box, the ID. It's 4th and 1, zillion guys in the box. We'll add a zillion and 1, and here we go. Okay, so linebacker's plussed out a little bit. You can see he's getting a little horny. He's running down there a little bit. And now was a gang call, you know, it's a 2 technique. They might have called it on the field. Could have just been a tag call. Okay, but you can see that the guard isn't helping bang at all. He's on his track, keeping everything moving. Now, critical of the left guard here, because, you know, one of my biggest things with these guys is getting your eyes up in your stance, right? It's something that, again, as we're chasing reps and getting comfortable with it, you know, those pieces are going to move around. Like, so your job's not that complicated. You have the backside A gap guard, okay? You're uncovered. All right, cool, I'm working the -1. That's that linebacker there. That linebacker's creeping up behind you. What do you think is going to happen? You think he's going to jump back in front of you and run into the A gap? No. All right, so critical of him here as far as first step, pretty okay. Covering that gap. Second step goes straight back down. He's got a wide base. He's dead in the water, right? So, yeah, let's postpone that. So again, you can see here, he gets beat across his face. Now, center and those guys do a great job getting movement, right? Like I said, it's 4th and 1. You see those safeties as far as on boundary safety there, number 2, running into that hole. Field safety, running straight downhill. But boundary safety's getting sucked up in there. Great job by our tight end, sorting through everything and running through the smoke. And again, just, yeah, Wingate was really fucking good this year, so this is a cool one to rip off. Again, just to let it run. So even though Jalen gets his face crossed, left guard, still, we got a chance, right? We got a chance on 4th and 1 to hit this thing with a full head of steam. So the running back's pretty good, so shouts to him. Okay, more appropriate gang call here. Again, just game plan wise, when you get that stand-up guy, different things like that, different tells with his feet and his lean, different things in that nature, okay? Liven that stuff up, okay? Again, number 8's the read here. We have 10 called. Okay, he should be aiming right at that center's crack, right at his front leg there. You see it's drifting a little bit. Sees the extra half front side. Sees 8 just kind of hanging out, and everything collapsing down. Like I said, right tackle sees everything collapse down. Don't turn back into it. Stay square through that thing, because you know that one of you is going to have to pass off and get to the linebacker, right? If you just close that thing off and the linebacker flies behind you, problematic for us. Okay, so stay on your track. Really good job passing that off and just making something out of nothing. And the city call. Okay, so backside, like I said, we have 12 called here, all right? ID 17, similar thing. Like I said, it can hit anywhere. It's probably going to hit front side, but you can see leverage-wise, okay, probably especially going to hit front side. We're reading that first down defensive lineman. Okay, ID is 17 here. We call city call because number 2 back there, number 3, whatever he is all the way back. Obviously, they're telegraphing the fact that there's probably going to be a stunt on. Makes it very obvious when he walks on the line, but just being able to free everything up, you can see this tackle's able to bang back on that right away. Guard knows he's about to try and cross face. Really good job just picking that up, just through communication. Okay, so, like I said, for us, protect play side gap, tip to near hip. For the first 2 guys in the box, everyone else is tipped to play side number. All right, so 12 and 13 versus 10 and 11. Same all the way across the board, except for the front side guys on 10 and 11 are going to be washing everything out. All right, that thing's hitting behind them 99% of the time, unless you see like on the limestone clip, those guys are slanting in, caving everything in, and no one gets outside. It's going to hit outside. Okay, so can hit anywhere. Obviously, for us, we want to hit a gap back. But again, the main reason, again, is to open up those interior gaps and make those safeties' lives a nightmare. Like I mentioned, 12 and 13, we install both of them on day 1. Same, right? Same. All I have to install is base drive, tight drive, white blocks, okay? And then our combo calls, okay? Mentally, it's not very taxing, okay? For us, point of emphasis, like I said, denting on 10, 11. Mid-zone, kind of a mix between outside zone. Where outside zone, we're trying to stretch and cut up, right? Stretch the front side, cut off the back side. Running back stretching and cutting up. Middle ground, right? We're still trying to dent, but we're getting that lateral movement with it as well, with all of us trying to get to that play side number. Okay, so base, want to run through all of our different zone variations, all right? Because I know sometimes, there's different ways to dress it up. For us, base 10 and 11, 12 and 13. Here we got 10. You can see good push outside of the right guard. Really, really good combo here from the left guard and left tackle, okay? And same kind of problem for the defense as far as all of a sudden, right, we talk about defense alignment for the room quite a bit, just to understand how defenses are trying to attack them and understanding what's being presented in front of them. Like we talk about a lot of diagnosing the crime scene, right? And for us, obviously those guys are right fucking in front of you, they're flying downhill, okay? So here we got a cog called, center and guard. Backside we got a B called. 9 tips his hand a little bit, right, falling out of his stance. Left guard, first start, really good job there, just running right through his play side number. Tackle, working to get to play side number. And now, you got a big hole, right? Safety's getting nosy. Obviously, we have 2 gaps on the backside, now only 1 guy there. Problematic. They all get caught in the wash. Let go fast, gotta be fast. And you see all of our guys running down, one of the things that we do that I like is we talk about get a piece, right? So all of our guys, we have a get a piece award at the end of the year. First guy that touches the guy that scores gets a point, right? And we tally that through the whole year. Skill guys and linemen are tallied differently, just because obviously they're faster than us, and skill guys like to run away from us. But that's where you can see, like all my guys, fat guys, taking an angle, right? He's scoring. You see 72 start to take an angle. He ended up winning the award for us this year. Get him a hoodie after the season, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, but just encouraging, celebrating together, right?
Coach Collins.
Yes.
Does your offensive line coach do pursuit drill during the week to work on this?
So, no pursuit drill, but we do have, like, if we have, we'll do like fastball, right, where we'll move it down the field. We do it every Tuesday is how we do a tempo drill. And then the last one, we move it 20 yards at a time, just doing our tempo stuff. And then the last one, finish with the score, that kind of good stuff. Go get a piece. But yeah, in practice, especially in spring ball, we'll do it more than the fall. But no pursuit drill. It's the reason why I never played D-line. Too much fucking around in.
Coach, on that backside there?
Yeah.
Did you, obviously it looks like it's coached, or is this just a savvy left tackle? You reduce your splits drastically? Like
Yeah.
Always backside?
Yeah, so that's we talk about two different kinds of alignment, horizontal and vertical. So our base splits are 2-foot splits.
Like the right tackle, right guard has?
Yeah, so their base, and then especially for this guy, like, this guy got pretty comfortable with the scheme after a little bit. You can max out to 3. They like to fuck with me and like go to 6-foot splits in the spring. I'm like, get your ass in there. Our ROC is an air raid guy, and he would show film from when they like just ran true air raid where they had 5-foot splits. It's like, absolutely not. That's nails on chalkboard for me. But yeah, for these guys, we talk about, you'll probably see the left guard cheat up a little bit to that he's banging, right? And even if that guy tries to cross face, we talk a lot about if that guy's moving laterally while we're moving vertically, it should be a fucking railroad, But yeah, left tackle, if he knows that he's working with that guy, he's going to tighten down. Yep, so we'll go down to 1 foot for that. Frontally, you see the left guard first start is too tight to the center, right? Widen those guys out. It's not like the 3-tech's not going to move with you. Here again, watch one from the wide. See push, okay? Sometimes it's going to be lateral, right? They're running almost gaps front. They almost have everyone in the A and B gaps, okay? 7-man box, right? Quarterback's gonna have to count for 1. Knew that coming into this game. So he's gonna have to wear 1. But, like I said, everyone's finishing across the hash. That makes it pretty easy for the running back to get in space, run right down the hash. Okay, so going back to combo calls, pretty easy here, right? They have a 4 technique, so guard's covered. Tackle calls a tag with the will being walked up outside. Covered, covered, covered. Easy, right? Tight end knows that ID's out here. He's got the -1 in this case because his defensive end isn't there. He's the next uncovered offensive lineman. Okay, so really good job by him as far as not panicking. Took a lot of reps getting used to this. Just getting good wash, baptizing fellows. And the thing that I liked a lot here, like I said, left tackle, to his credit, is, he accounted for a lot of those holds last year. We had to work with him a lot. With his hand placement, he's a brick shit house. He's 290 solid. He's just as strong as bull, right? Does a good job as far as working to finish square again, right? Where, worst case scenario, right, that tight end gets beat or something like that, we do have options, backside. Just trying to open those things up versus, like I said, I go back to my time at Western when we're playing NIU, and they're like, yeah, let them collapse it down, and there's 2 linebackers standing on the backside edge. Okay, so again, still presenting problems for the defense as far as getting back. They can't just try and fall back to the backside and know that that's where we're going to hit it. Don't like that the tackle got beat back, right tackle. Be smart, right? Don't work out to that guy. It's hitting behind you. Just hold a vertical angle. If he runs upfield, who gives a fuck, right? He's the ID. Like, so we're reading the ID. Unless this guy, post-snap, sprinted over there, it's hitting behind you. Okay, so there's some of those teaching things there. Just understanding where the play's going to hit. Again, great short yard answer for us as well. Oh, sorry, 1 from the wide. Just looking to see if we can finish guys in the end zone. Usually we finish guys in the end zone. Means it's a good play. You see great dent front side. Backside, right guard, Right tackle, And then obviously the extra hat in there is running through, but that's, again, quarterback and running back problem, okay? So, here the center's telling everyone to shut the fuck up because they're all trying to ask him questions and things like that. This is a zebra look, right? We talk about bear a lot. You know, short yardage wise, we're gonna get gaps, we're gonna get bear, right? If we get base defense, cool, easy enough, right? That means that we're getting one combo, we're getting an A combination right here to whatever backer is standing in the cylinder. Pretty simple, okay? Everyone else is man on, and we actually have a 6 offensive lineman here because we didn't have enough tight ends who were worth the fuck. So, critical of him on this one, and I'll show you why. Everyone else pretty good. Guard, good job getting there. Now hands, no good, right? You can see his hand outside there, gotta replace that. Second step, stuck in the mud. But good job just keeping feet on contact, right? Things I'm always looking for as far as prospects and things like that. If you have pop, right? If you have natural pop, snapping hat back. If you can keep your feet moving through contact, all that kind of good stuff. And then center, don't like that he turned his shoulder through that nose, right? He should be taking a 6-inch step, right? Nose is gonna play one way or another or straight fucking forward, okay? So I tell him, put him on your back shoulder, okay? 6-inch step, drive the crotch. All right, set him up for that guard. So the guard can try and get underneath that thing and try and get play side, right? Like you see there, we're gapping those guys out. So if he wants to, he can hit it there. He sees the dent front side, just takes it. And now, like I said, I'm critical of DJ, our extra O-lineman to the front side here. Again, just talking about defensive alignment, right? And we were just going over install one last week with these guys, and it's like, okay, you know, one of these two is fitting outside and one's fitting inside. Who do you think they want fitting outside? Probably the skill guy, right? And for him, he's like, yeah, I was just waiting for him to go out there. Well, no good, right? Just take that guy to him, right? Take his gap to him. You know he's gonna stay right there. Okay, so he's just being really passive there, not helping out our left tackle at all. Working through that thing. Working against each other. Rather than, again, 6-inch step, drive that crotch, take that thing vertical. Again, wanted some clips of it hitting front side as well. Like I talked about, difference in tempo working up as well. You see the right guard here, like he's shot out of a cannon getting up to that linebacker. And I'll pause it right here when I'm watching with the guys. It's like, that's a long time for you to hold that guy when he just got the football, you know? So, would like to see a little more tempo from him there. But, good job from the left guard as far as stopping the initial pressure. Linebacker plays downhill, just driving him out. And frankly, should probably hit behind the left guard, but running back just kind of goes out and does his own thing, okay? You guys like this tie shot? Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, so, sorry. Sorry, but again, good job just getting movement. Okay, stop initial pressure. Then against Oki, right? Pretty straightforward now. Instead of having one ID, we're gonna have two, right? You have 3 down defensive linemen, you get 2 IDs then, right? 4 down defensive linemen, you get 1 ID. Okay, so we're IDing what we call Vegas, right? So Vegas, Las Vegas left, Reno's right, just for ease of communication. All right, if we're in the middle too, we go base, all right, as far as IDing goes. Pretty straightforward as far as no combination from guard and tackle, they're covered, okay? And then center, probably calls cog because he knows he's not really gonna help the guard, and that guy's playing downhill, so he gets off that thing pretty quickly. Great job from the guard. Now pad level, atrocious, right? Getting to that play side number. Tackle, same thing, right tackle. Crossing over, dead, right? Big gangly guy, gotta keep working it with him. But great movement front side, open up that seam down the A gap. Let that guy hit his speed. This as far as how this play should hit, 95% of the time, right? Like I said, just right down the hash, right off that tight end combo. We don't have an interior option open. Just keep following your rules. Now, could we hit it right in the middle? Sure. Gonna want to give those running backs options. Slow those extra hats down, right? Rather than let them fly down and hit our guy at 3 yards. You got your backside tight end here too. We give those guys a lot of freedom as far as going after corner, going after safety, right? Especially as we get into these heavier sets. You know, it's really game plan decision, things like that. Here we felt like we could run through a corner tackle. Okay, so he's just gonna keep climbing to the safety. Better tempo here from the right guard, making contact with the linebacker as the guy's hitting the line of scrimmage. You can see here from the left guard, right, we talk about not getting our outside hand involved because it turns your shoulders, right? Takes away the power of the double team. Now your drive foot, your power foot's behind you. Not gonna be a good push, right? So you see how he just kind of leaks off that thing, out leverages himself. No good there. Really good job from the tackle. You can see, especially as, you know, same kind of teaching on the funnel cutoffs and slam blocks on the backside of gap scheme. It's very similar as far as if that guy wants to just play upfield, we'll just pass at him, right? We'll just pass at that guy and just keep him the fuck out there, right? Especially as they get wide, right? So see him up and down with his inside, super strong through that outside hand or inside hand. Like to see him keep straining, but again, don't want to get a holding call at the end of the day. All right, so just got to be more accurate with this hand placement and not overrun that guy. Want to throw some mid zone on here because again, similar presentation of the defense. You see the running backs then angle afterwards, very different, right? As far as hitting downhill front side. Okay, so we're ID'd all the way out. This is 100% a city call here, or a gang call here, because our ID is all the way outside the box. Now they don't move at all. So that's why the center just kind of stays on his track. They got a guy dropping. They're all sorting it out front side. Okay, great job from the right tackle here as far as cutting off. Right, they have guys on the backside too. Running edge pressure. Just cutting that off, and again, that's where our seam's at. Now guard, right guard. Getting feet crossed up, right, doesn't have a good handle on the guy, so he'll fall from late. Now, I put this one on here, and I put this on as far as the install tape for the guys and everything like that for a different reason as far as ball's out. Oh, fuck. Okay? Fumble's not a disaster unless the other team recovers it, right? Ball hits the ground, and there's 5 Carson Newman guys around it, okay? So, again, just coaching up effort to the guys, highlighting good effort. Big Jalen just dives in there, gets that thing out again. Avery shoves that guy. I think the center should have gotten a gain of 35 or whatever it ended up being, okay? But again, highlighting that versus you can see our receiver on the boundary here who runs a route, hangs out, ball's out. Nothing? Oh, okay. Awesome. Still out. Feel free. Okay, there you go. Awesome. Fuck yeah, dude. So, again, highlighting the good and the bad to the guys. Understand that we talk about effort, physicality, non-negotiable, right? Knowing your assignment, non-negotiable, okay? Finished, non-negotiable. Those are all things that you can handle. Only other things I talk about is be coachable, okay? If I have one job, and that's to win football games. The fact that you guys have good grades and you're good citizens and the training staff and strength staff, hey, they're all great guys. Yeah, great guys can get me fired too, okay? So, want you guys to be hard-nosed motherfuckers on the field, okay? Playing hard, chasing the football. And again, maximum effort at all times. And I think that's probably where our biggest difference is, beyond being comfortable with the scheme and everything like that. Year 1 to year 2 is just chasing the football, right? We got 4 guys, right? Big Dallas is baptizing the guy back there, so he's not getting it. Feel free, come on up. Rest of the guys getting in the scrum. Again, not a disaster. Running back sees it, runs off the field, knows that he's getting benched for a couple plays. All right, and we're on to the next one, okay? Any questions, feel free to stop me anytime. I know I'm just laughing left my huddle remote, so I'm turned around most of the time. Cool. So first variation, lock, okay? RPO concept for us as far as, now we're just reading the -1, right? Pretty basic, tight ends getting out of there on the RPO, low snap. Great job, Canyon, okay? For us, not a huge fan of the leverage, right? As far as would like to see us run mid-zone to 4 eyes rather than inside zone, right? That tackle's trying to dig that guy out or hope that someone's playing the C gap. That's in the count, okay? So not an ideal situation. now you can see the -1, number 10 there, is the read, like I talked about. You can see Dallas posting up with his inside hand, the right tackle. Just taking on a pass set, letting those guys play outside. If they do throw it, it's not a disaster. Again, would like to see a better set. But -1 plays outside the box. We're heading it downhill. Go get a piece. You can also run with mid-zone. Same teaching, same everything. Okay, made the mid-zone adjustment as far as, again, don't want to run 10 and 11 tight zone to 4 eyes for the most part, right? There's different ways we can get to it then. So you see here 76 DJ, just pass setting on the backside. That guy's super wide. Would like to see him stay square at left guard there, right? Not letting that guy just get upfield. Okay, so that's the one hard part, right? You don't want him to cross face, right? You also don't want him to get upfield. All right, those lock blocks on the backside can be very annoying, okay? But you can see even if number 5, right, he's the -1, if he's not flowing to where the play's hitting, we're gonna hand it off. All right, 12 and 13, we're reading number 4. Number 4, probably supposed to be outside, peeks inside. We're taking it out. Extra tight shot. All right, so 13 lock on here. Get great tempo from the left guard. As far as he's making contact, that running back's right behind him, right? Very hard for defense to pick up on that then, all right? Again, we talk about making a full speed decision. You know, make that guy, he's on the tracks, make him get off of him. Okay, so we'll tempo up there, gather about a yard out, so you can see him gather right there, get back to our base, and then get into the drive. 15 being the read here, 15's dropping out, we're handing it off. And good job sorting out the fact we have a 4-eye, he ends up playing the outside, right, B to C gap, that kind of good stuff. Great job by the center again. Center did a really good job for us this year, being able to sort out that. No speed. Now this is a fun one, right? Perks of having a freshman quarterback. We have a guy run up on the line, right? The -1's on the line. Okay, I'll go to the tight. You can see number 0 is on the line. Problematic, right? Senior quarterback's gonna stay hot. Running back's gonna go block that guy, we're gonna throw the ball. Okay, we're gonna keep the lock on. Tackle doesn't hear the quarterback say lock, bails us out by taking this guy. Understand that if they're blitzing, end's gonna play contain, play wide. Thank God, because quarterback would have died. Okay, but perks of having an 18-year-old run everything. We got a good job as far as we'd like to see. Left guard gets that play side number still, strain that thing out. Better job on the backside here as far as center. You can see bang back. Keep his base, right? He's still reading that near knee. Doesn't come to him. Gets up on 15. Away they go.
What do you use for your base rule back there on the backside for those guys?
For those guys, that's the beauty of it. It's the same teaching as frontside 10-11, right? As far as they're locked, so it'll be still inside out, right? So they can tight drive it, they can white block it. So their base rule.
For who they're responsible for?
It's just man on, right? So they're just covered. It's covered backside. So pretty straightforward with that stuff. As far as if they're covered backside, working outside in, that's where the Okie stuff gets weird, right? If you got a 4-eye and then you have no one outside, right? Changes versus Okie with 4-eye 5 and then man outside, right? So, and that's where, again, center put us in good position where, like, on these plays, right, we're running zone this way, and there's a man walked up outside, so we're gonna go ahead and down the guy, right? So we'll down him, treat him like a defensive lineman, and he basically goes, he's down, and now we get back into 1 point. So they basically know if there's 2 points, then they know that it is tackle and guard, and center and guard are comboing up to the base. If there's 1 point, if we're getting back into a 4-down world, then they know that these 2 are known rushers. We take them on. We do the same thing in pass pro, so it marries up, right, with that stuff too, getting us back to 4-down versus 3-down, 3-man slide versus 4-man slide, all different tools that the center can utilize. And as you know, number 11's a motherfucker, so we're not gonna leave him unblocked.
And if y'all playing the odd front, the new America's defense, odd
Yeah.
front with that drop on
Yeah.
the backside,
Yeah.
do y'all feign that thing backside, or do y'all have the quarterback read the drop?
It's funny. We got that in the Tusculum game, and so we started then going to base points, so then the quarterback could read that guy. Yeah, so that's where it got weird, was that we had to adjust because they hadn't shown that yet, and then we saw it in the game, and it was like, just keep the points base, don't down that guy. He's on the line. If he plays upfield, then we can hand it, because again, he's running. He's not chasing the running back. He chased the quarterback.
Because like play side, y'all are pushing it, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we had to make that adjustment in game one time.
Because I've always wondered, because we push it, and then when they started walking that down, half the time you'd fan it.
Yeah.
The tackles want to fan everything. They get horny with fan calls.
Yeah.
And then play side doesn't get it, and now we're turning the mic from you.
Yep. So we have. I'm not going to go all the way back. We also have built in. If we have guys walk up, we'll have different calls too, as far as bringing the whole backside with us versus not. So like in 10 and 11, because we're not concerned with, if there's a guy walked up front side, we'll just out it and not bring everyone with us, because again, the point of attack will still be backside. If we got 12 and 13, we know it's hitting front side, that's where we'll push and bring everyone with us. But if we know if it's a dropper, especially game plan wise with that kind of stuff, tackle will take that tight footwork, and if they do drop, that there's going to be a different C-gap guy, he just gets vertical right away, if it's at the point of attack. It's on the backside of the lock, that's where you had to start reading that guy.
We got a lot of that drop. I've never done this, but this year we're flipping it. If we get a drop instead of fanning it, our quarterback's gonna give us a mayday, but we
Yeah.
flip the run.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try that out, see how that guy works. I'll let you know next year.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, those guys, we saw more Okie this year than we had in years past. I mean, it's what I'm comfortable with. My defense ran it in college. Obviously for my guys, our team runs 4 down, so they're much more comfortable going against 4 down, so it's a lot more teaching in the week of prep. For us, split zone's not a tag. I've tagged it before. Just for the simple fact of knowing, then we can talk about if split's tagged, then the lineman can know, we can talk about if they're plug fitting it or if they're flash fitting it and falling backside and the safety's gonna be in the fit and stuff like that. We'll talk about different ways that teams are gonna fit it that way. For us, we don't tag it, but the tight end is gonna give a Billy call just to let him know it's coming. All right, so we're tagging it without tagging it. It's an extra word for the tight end to say. For us here, this was really cool. Just because Ellard ran the splits, I want to say it wasn't, but it felt like 37 times against Wingate, and and crushed him with it, right? Beauty of zone is not having the penetration. Again, we're running 11 here. We're reading 22. So like I said, it's very few and far between where that guy just fucks off and sprints out of there. Well, here you go. Here's an example. So now, very clear for the running back, he's keeping this thing front side. And also we knew if they walked either of these guys up, they're just running what we call wrap, cross dog in the A and B gaps, all right? So then everyone knows what the job is to do. They ran it maybe 5 or 6 times on this drive to try and stop zone, all right? Center knows that if 6 is coming, 22 is coming back there with him as well. That means 98 is gonna have to cross face. Does a good job holding that thing out. Again, left guard, left tackle, just keep those guys out, wash them out. And again, the only guy that we're critical of, and I know it's a lot of moving pieces, right? You have a guy in your gap, guard has to give a back call right here to get back to 22 to the tackle. And there's different clips on the drive where we ended up doing that, and you can see he gets back to somebody, but they're just fucking trying to hit us where they think that we're hitting this play over and over and over, which is, it's true, right? We're mainly hitting it A gap back, but we're reading that linebacker. So he fucks off, we cut off the nose, away we go.